In the vast and ever-evolving landscape of American music, some voices rise not through spectacle, but through sincerity. They speak softly, yet leave a lasting mark. One such voice belonged to a man named Jim Croce, a mustachioed poet with a guitar whose stories were spun not from fame or fantasy, but from the fabric of everyday life. This is the story of Jim Croce, a life in song. Time in a Bottle, the lasting music of Jim Croce. James Joseph Croce was born on January 10, 1943, in South Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to a tight-knit Italian-American family. His early world was shaped by tradition, hard work, and the familiar sounds of music drifting through row houses and neighborhood streets. His first instrument was the accordion, a gift from his parents when he was just 5. It was an introduction to the rhythm of expression, though it wouldn't be his last. As he grew, so did his curiosity. Croce attended Villanova University in 1961, where he studied psychology and German. He wasn't the most devoted student, but something else began to take root: music. It was at Villanova that he picked up a guitar and started playing in local bands, performing at campus events and house parties. He had a voice like no other, gritty, heartfelt, and unmistakably genuine. At Villanova, Croce met Ingrid Jacobson, a fellow student who shared his love of music. The two fell in love, married in 1966, and began performing together at small venues and coffee houses. Their early years were a blend of romantic dreams and harsh realities. Money was scarce. Croce worked an array of jobs: truck driver, construction worker, even a welder, to support their modest life while continuing to write and play music. It was in those jobs, among the people he met, that Croce found his greatest inspiration. He wrote songs about truckers, phone operators, pool hustlers, and broken hearts. His music wasn't flashy. It was real, grounded in the grit of working-class America, wrapped in melodies that felt like conversations between old friends. His big break came in 1972 with the release of You Don't Mess Around with Jim. The title track introduced audiences to his vivid characters and playful humor.
And you don't mess around with Jim.
But it was Time in a Bottle.
If I could save time in a bottle.
Written for his unborn son, AJ. That captured something deeper. A sense of time slipping through our fingers and the ache of wanting more of it. The success of that album led to a follow-up, Life and Times, released in 1973. With it came Bad Bad Leroy Brown, a swaggering piano-driven tune about a streetwise troublemaker.
And it's bad, Leroy Brown.
It became Croce's first #1 single, cementing his place in the pop-folk canon. His style, acoustic, honest, stripped of artifice, resonated in a time of glitter and excess. He was the everyman troubadour, singing songs that made people laugh, cry, and remember. But just as his career reached its peak, fate dealt a cruel hand. On September 20th, 1973, Croce performed at Northwestern State University in Natchitoches, Louisiana. After the show, he boarded a small chartered plane bound for the next stop on his tour. The aircraft crashed shortly after takeoff. All 6 aboard were killed instantly. Jim Croce was only 30 years old. The world mourned the loss of a rising star whose best songs may still have been ahead of him. But even in death, his voice lived on. 2 months later, his final album, I Got a Name, was released posthumously. The title track, though not written by Croce himself, became an anthem of identity and quiet resilience.
I got a name. I got a name.
Other songs like I'll Have to Say I Love You in a Song and Workin' at the Car Wash Blues further demonstrated the emotional range and narrative skill that defined his work.
Working at the car wash blues.
His music endures not because it was grand, but because it was human. Croce had a rare gift for taking the small, often overlooked moments of life and turning them into something beautiful. Songs like Operator, That's Not the Way It Feels, and Photographs and Memories are not just relics of the past. They are timeless reflections of longing, love, and loss.
That's not the way it feels. Operator.
His son, A.J. Croce, just a toddler when Jim passed, would later become a musician himself. Through his own career, he has kept his father's legacy alive, reinterpreting his songs, sharing stories, and ensuring that new generations hear that unmistakable voice.
Photographs and memories, Christmas cards you gave to me.
More than 5 decades have passed since that tragic day in 1973. Yet Jim Croce's music continues to play. On radios, in record collections, and in the hearts of those who find comfort in his words. His songs are still discovered by new ears, still cherished by those who lived through his time. This was not just a musician. This was a storyteller who understood the soul of the common man and who made his brief time in the world unforgettable. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.